Last week, we somehow passed a 50k evaluation account in just 7 trading days. Me passing the account and survive our first few days funded 160, 200 bucks, 625, which sounds great, but yeah. Apparently, getting funded wasn't the hard part, keeping the account alive was, and I still needed 5 trading days with over 150 bucks profit. Right now, we are only 2 days in, and after nearly blowing 70% of my drawdown this week, I'm starting to think the payout might be the least of my concerns. So the question is, will I finally get my first payout, or am I gonna blow another funded account? Alright, it's the start of a new month. All I had to do was to keep the momentum going and work towards my first payout. Shouldn't be too hard, right? Yeah, about that. Pre-market was looking pretty bearish, so my plan was simple. Follow the trend, don't do anything stupid. 1 minute into the session and I was already down 300 bucks. Not exactly what I had in mind. Shortly after, I caught a long and managed to claw back around 150 bucks, so at this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe today isn't completely cooked. And after seeing rejections of the demand area, I took a step short but was unfortunately stopped out with a 150 bucks loss. Instead of sitting back and actually reassessing, I just kept forcing the same idea, because apparently I don't learn from my mistakes. Which low-key worked out though, because I shorted again after seeing price broke the uptrend and grabbed about 100 bucks. Wasn't much since there weren't any clean pullbacks, but hey, green is green. I figured I'll just wait for a retest and re-enter. But the market was like nah and absolutely plummeted. And instead of waiting for confirmation like a normal person, I just forced a short near the lows and took a fat 350 bucks loss just like that. Honestly, I was hella pissed at this point because my initial evaluation on the pre-market seemed to be straight up garbage. So I just rage entered short again after seeing a decent red candle close, which luckily scraped back 345 bucks. Oh boy, and I wasn't even done because I just casually shorted 2 more times and both trades easily stopped me out, dropping my account back to deep red again. And this is the part where I just fully abandoned the plan, threw out my blueprint and just went full pancake flipping mode. I'm just going long, short, left and right, you name it. At my worst, I was even down more than 800 bucks. But somehow, after spending the rest of the session just fighting to survive, I managed to drag my account back from dead and ended the day down only 120 bucks. Honestly, I'll take it. Not proud of it, but I'll take it. So if you think yesterday's session was bad enough, you haven't seen worse, because I've taken even more trades today, and to make it worse, I actually took the biggest losing day since the start of this account. Overnight price action was mostly sideways, but I was biased short as long as prices doesn't break above the 580s. Just 3 minutes into the market, I took a step short seeing my plan was playing out, which luckily secured my first winning trade to cover yesterday's loss. So seeing my account is already in the green, it's all uphill from now on, right? A few minutes later, price broke above 580, so I flipped long and followed my plan. Honestly, it was looking pretty good.
Wait a minute!
Until nasdaq apparently decided to become a meme coin and started glitching, which caused a massive fake spike to boot me out with a fat 530 bucks loss. Now I was tilting the fuck out because of this and immediately sized up for another long, which stopped me out for another fat loss. And just like that, I'm sitting at negative 800 bucks for the day. But I couldn't just sit there and take it, especially knowing one of those losses wasn't even my fault, so I just re-entered long again wanting price to move higher, and somehow scraped back just over 200 bucks. But looking back, had that glitch not happened, my second trade would have worked out and I'll walk away happy. But instead, I just started my day 2 of becoming a degen trader.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
Because I was constantly risking too much, and every time I finally caught a good trade, I got scared and bailed out. And every time I took a bad trade, I somehow found the confidence to hold it. At one point, I even got my account down 1400 bucks. But just when you thought I was gonna blow another account, my degen trading somehow paid off. And after clawing my way back from the dead, I was only down 500 bucks. And I told myself, okay, that's it for the day, we'll take that loss since it's already lunch hour. which lasted about 30 seconds before I went back in because I wasn't raised to be a quitter. And I just continued with my second round of pancake flipping all the way till the market closed and somehow managed to make things worse, ending my day with a fat $800 loss. Okay, today I actually took a day off from the chart since yesterday I overtraded throughout the whole New York session, and seeing how bad I did the past 2 days, I just thought if I want to play the long game, I shouldn't force myself to trade if I'm not in the right mindset.
Psych!
That's what you think because I traded the whole New York session. Just joking guys, but I may or may not have sneaked in a short because I just couldn't control myself to check the charts and my hand just went autopilot and clicked the sell button. Luckily, that trade somehow made me $180 and I just ended my day because yeah, I shouldn't even be trading today. First day after touching grass yesterday, let's see if I can redeem myself or will this be another episode of degen trading. Pre-market was printing lower lows, so I was laying bearish coming into the session. Right after market open, prices decided to turn 180, so I went long after some retracement, but prices suddenly remembered it was supposed to be printing downtrend, so I got out with a $200 loss. Market followed with a huge dump and I told myself I'm definitely not gonna miss out on this trend. So I popped another shot and oh boy. Okay, maybe my analysis was wrong and the huge dump was actually low-key a huge retracement. So I switched long instead and luckily secured $300. Then market started dumping again, but unfortunately my order wasn't filled, so I may or may not have chased the short, which got stopped out again. The market suddenly chose to switch sides instead and I just adapted and entered long, which was working initially, but I just freaked out after seeing multiple rejections, so I built up with a small loss. I was low-key confident since prices were above the EMA, so I re-entered long again but decided to ditch the trade after seeing a fat red candle close. But just when I got out, the market regretted and decided to print a huge green candle and I was like, surely it should pop higher now, right? So I doubled down on the long, which hit my TP with a fat $670 profit, bringing my account back to the green. But I got a feeling the market was gonna continue higher, so I entered long again but quickly got out with a $40 profit after realizing my trade was still sized up, and re-entered with a smaller size but with a bigger stop loss. And remember this placement guys, because I'm back with another round of degen trading but with a small size. By the time I was done, I was already down just over $150. Had I held to my initial trade, I wouldn't have gone through all these sideways sections because with my last shot, I actually redeemed myself and brought my account back to the green. And I should really stop trading now before things really get out of hands again, but not before taking 2 more trades to donate most of my profits, ending my day up $12 after commissions. Pre-market was continuing yesterday's downtrend, so coming in today, I was pretty confident that shorts were in play. Right after open, I took a short, but price was sitting right on top of a demand zone and I was already imagining the market bouncing back against me, so I chickened out early for a small loss. After that, prices started making lower lows exactly the way I wanted. Seeing that, I jumped back into a short. At first, I moved my stop to break even because I wanted to play it safe, which immediately kicked me out. Looking back, I probably should have just trusted the trade because I ended up re-entering lower and finally caught the move down for just over $200. With the market dumping all day, I figured we were overdue for at least some kind of bounce, right? So I switched long looking for a retracement, and for a moment it looked okay until a massive red candle showed up and completely destroyed my confidence. So I bailed out early for a $250 loss. The market started dumping again after tapping into the supply zone, saying that I wasn't about to miss the next leg down. But I somehow shorted right when the move was basically over and price immediately started rejecting, so I bailed out for another loss again. At this point, I had absolutely no clue whether the market wanted to go up or down, so naturally, I tried both and somehow managed to lose money on each side before finally catching a long that paid me $590, dragging my account back close to break even. After that, prices started breaking back below the EMA, so I took it as a signal the market was done retracing. So I took a stab short and profited $130. So far, pretty reasonable, right? Yeah, that didn't last very long because the market started chopping sideways, and instead of waiting for a breakout, I just kept sending trades over and over and over again. Before I knew it, I was already down 400 bucks. At this point, I was honestly thinking maybe I don't deserve this funded account because I've basically been degen trading this whole week. So I just went all in and doubled down my size to send one last shot. And somehow, it actually worked. Price dumped and my target got hit, banking in just over 600 bucks. With that, I knew the market had given me way more chances than I deserved today. So before I could crash out again, I locked off and walked away with around 140 bucks profit to end the week. So after all that, I somehow spent an entire week fighting for a payout just to end up right back at the starting point. And honestly, I don't even think the market was my biggest problem this week. I feel like I keep making the same mistake every week where I'm so focused on making the progress that I end up forcing trades that were never there in the first place. So next week, I either learn how to wait for quality setups or I'm gonna speed run blowing this funded account. But unfortunately, I might not even get a chance to test that next week because I've got some stuff to take care of outside the chart, so I may or may not have time to trade and upload. On a side note, how did you guys do this week? Did you stick to your plan or become a professional pancake flipper like I did? Let me know down in the comments, and if you've been enjoying the journey so far, feel free to subscribe as we continue to fight for that first payout. With that being said, I'll see you guys next time. To the moon!